Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Amanda and today I'm going to be doing a full face of first impressions videos. I've got a box of makeup that I just ordered, so super excited to use some of this stuff. It's mostly drugstore, but there are like one or two high-end things that I'm going to be using today. So I need to wet my sponges, I'll be back. Okay, so the first thing that I got that I'm going to be starting out with is all these products I think are relatively new as well. I purchased them all from Ulta, the Ulta website. So the first thing that I'm going to be using is the e.l.f. Tone Adjusting Face Primer, and this is in Brightening Lavender. It's the purple one. This is new, I'm pretty sure. There's 3 ones. I know there's also a green one, and then I don't know what the other one is. The green one I'm pretty sure is color correcting. So I'm just going to start with this. I'm just going to use one pump for now. Ooh, it's really purple. It's like dark purple. It's kind of like a silicone-y texture. I'm just going to put this all over my face. Ooh, it's really soft. It's tone adjusting and brightening, so it's supposed to just even out your skin tone and kind of brighten your complexion. It's really soft. I really like the texture. It feels good on my skin. It's not really evening my skin tone that much as far as I can tell, but it does feel really good. I mean, so as far as I can see, it didn't really do much for like evening my skin tone. I think it did brighten a little bit, and it's really soft, and it like sunk really well into the skin. So far I like it. We'll have to see how it goes with the foundation. So for foundation, okay, I kind of messed up on this. I got the Cover FX Cover Click Cream Foundation, but I ordered the mini version because I was like, okay, well, it's high end, so I was like, if I don't like it, you know, I don't want to spend a lot of money, so if there's a mini version, I was like, okay, cool, I'll get that. Well, I didn't realize when it said that it was mini, like how mini it was. Look at this. It's that big. This is a foundation. Okay, mine's in the shade G20, and they have a ton of shades of this because you can also use it as like concealer or a contour stick or whatever, and it has like a decent amount of product in it, but it's just so tiny. I don't know. So we're gonna have to see how this works. I'm gonna just put it on my face. Might be too light for me too. I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of put it all over the place in stripes. Okay, the small applicator is not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So I'm just gonna start with that much. If I need more, I can always add more. And I'm just gonna use the Real Techniques foundation brush to buff this out. I actually think the color is pretty good. Thought it was gonna be too light. It was really hard to tell online if the shade was gonna be good or not. It's not full coverage so far. I'd say probably medium. Light to medium coverage. It's not really covering any like redness or blemishes or anything like that. It's a very matte finish. Doesn't have a scent or anything, which is nice. I feel like when I am blending it in, it's kind of like brushing away. I don't know. So far I don't really like this. I prefer a little bit better coverage, plus it's kind of clinging to like my dry patches, and I don't know. I'm gonna add a little bit more on my cheeks and problem areas just to see if it has buildable coverage. Oh! The entire stick just came off. I didn't even have it rolled up that far. Oh. Stop laughing, it's not funny. It just like melted off. I did not even have it rolled up far at all. Oh my lord. Mom, it's a stick foundation. That is how you apply it. Get out of here. is a disaster. Well, look at that. Oh, I don't know if it focused or not, but that was a mess. I smeared it on with my fingers, but it is super dry, and that primer like filled in my pores, and it is like, I don't know, it's clinging to all my dry patches, and the coverage is building though. So I would say it has buildable coverage, but I also, you know, applied half the foundation stick on this cheek because the entire thing broke off. That might be just the mini version though. Like, I feel like if it wasn't so thin, like the circumference, it would hold up a little better, but because it's so thin and fragile, that like the warmth of my skin just made it break. It says it's supposed to be full coverage. So it's a 2-in-1 full coverage foundation and concealer that gives an all-day radiant finish. Apply directly on the face and blend for all over coverage, and use a concealer for spot coverage. That's what I did, and it broke. So I would be careful with the mini if you do decide to try this. Alright, I also would not say it's radiant. Like, it seems really, really matte to me. And it's kind of patchy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna go over it with my damp Real Technique sponge just to see if it'll like blend it any better. Maybe like melt it into the skin. It seems like it's just sitting right on top of my skin. Like, it's not blending in. Okay, that looks a little better. Maybe it would work better with a beauty blender than a brush. With every other stick foundation I've ever used, it blends out better with brush, so that's why I thought I'd try it with this one. Okay, so moving on. I'm just gonna let that go. I'm just gonna move on. For concealer today, I'm gonna try the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer, and I have mine in the shade Light Ivory. I love the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I really like that. I've heard like that the concealer's good too, but I've also heard some people say that they loved the foundation but they didn't like the concealer, so I don't know. I like the packaging. It's nice packaging. I'm just going to put this under my eyes and on the high points of my face. I think this is a good color for me. I hope this foundation doesn't like screw up the rest of what I'm putting on my face. So far it feels really like hydrating under my eyes. Sometimes I'll put on a concealer and it'll feel really like drying and crackly, and this doesn't feel like that. So far it feels good. I'm going to blend it in with my Real Techniques. It's blending in really nicely. So far so good. I'm also going to bring it up on my eyelids, just whatever's left on the sponge, because I did not get an eyeshadow primer, so I'm just going to use this concealer. It's supposed to be really good for pictures. It says that it is tested under 7 light conditions: clear blue sunlit sky, outdoors in the PM, indoors in PM, electronic flash, fluorescent light, bathroom light, and nightclub light. So it's supposed to look good in all different kinds of lighting. It should instantly brighten and perfect appearance of skin, conceal imperfections, dark spots, and blemishes, and it's gentle enough to use on delicate under eye area. So far I'd say all those things are true. I really like the way this looks on my under eyes. I really like that concealer. So that concealer gets an A+ so far. We'll have to see how it lasts on the skin, but so far it looks really nice. The next thing I'm a little worried about, not even gonna lie, is the Makeup Revolution Luxury Baking Powder in Banana. And it says the natural heat from your body will cook powder over base foundation or concealer, giving you a flawless finish. That's all it says. So I'm gonna set, I think I'm actually gonna set the whole face with this just to see. I'm gonna lightly dust it all over the face, and then I'm going to bake my under eyes using a sponge. So when you screw the top off, I'm not a fan of this packaging so far. I can't get the sticker off. I need help. Oh, alright, never mind. I just got it. I'm really worried because about the color. They had like a pink one one for darker skin and then like a banana powder. So I went with the banana. I'm hoping it's not too dark for me. So I'm just gonna dust this. Has a interesting scent. The color's nice on my skin. It kind of almost seems like it has like orange undertones. I don't know, I'm a little worried to put this on my under eyes. Doesn't feel too drying like on my forehead or anything. It doesn't look too cakey yet either. I mean, the foundation was clinging to my dry spots, like around my mouth and in here, so it's hard to tell if the powder is clinging as well. I might have to try it with like a foundation that I know doesn't do that. But so far, so good. So now I'm gonna go in and, okay, I'm just gonna set the concealer on my eyelids. I don't think this powder would work if you have like skin any lighter than mine, because it does have a tint, like it says it's banana, but I don't know, I wouldn't say it seems more like flesh toned than a banana powder, so I would be careful. There is one that's like a pearl one, I'm pretty sure, so I think that might work better for lighter skin tones. Okay, so now I'm just gonna, I have it packed on my Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. I'm just gonna bake my under eyes. My smile lines as well. Looks very yellow under my eyes. Oh, this worries me. I've set my under eyes with banana powder before and it didn't look yellow, but I'm scared that this is gonna be like crazy yellow. So while I'm baking, I'm gonna work on my eyes. I'm just gonna let that stay there while I'm working on my eyes and then brush it away, because if there's like fallout from the palette that I'm gonna use or anything, I'm just gonna like sweep it off with the powder. So the palette that I'm gonna be going into today is the Maybelline The City Mini Palette in the shade 410 Chill Brunch Neutrals. This looks really pretty to me. I hope that it works well because it's a gorgeous palette and it's super inexpensive. It looks like this, little tiny packaging. Very like fall tones. It's got those like purples and mauves and some really pretty shimmer shades. And I did swatch this already and it swatched really well, so I'm hoping that it applies to the eyes as well as it applied with just my finger when I swatched it. Just going in with my Morphe M441, I'm going to start with this really pretty mauve shade right here. So I'm just putting this in my outer corner of my crease. So far the pigmentation is really good. This is a beautiful mauve shade. I'm actually going to bring that in the whole way, my crease. This is blending beautifully. So far, I really like this palette. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my Morphe M433 brush. That's a little bit more precise. And I'm going to go in with that darker, more plum colored. This is actually a satin finish, but when you swatch it, like it's not very satin. Like it just has kind of a sheen. And normally I wouldn't put that in the crease, but I think that the sheen is like light enough that it'll work. So I don't know, we'll see. So I'm just gonna focus this right in the outer. Ooh, that is gorgeous. This is blending, those two colors just like melted together so nicely. Okay, I am loving this little palette so far. And this was like, I think this was like $8 to $10. So this is a really good palette for that price, especially. I'm just gonna go back in with the brush that I used before, the Morphe M441, and just blend everything out. This has no additional product on it. So for my lid, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, which is like the second darkest. I don't know, there's like a silver, and then this is like a, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a mauve-y bronze shade, and then a true champagne. So I'm going to go in with that one all over the lid. We'll see how it works without any, ooh, that's pretty. I was gonna see if I needed to like spray it with Fix Plus or anything, but okay, it does have some fallout. This is the first shade that has had fallout, which doesn't bother me very much, but it could bother. I know it does bother some people. Having a little bit more trouble working with this one. I don't know if it's the brush I'm using. I'm in the process of moving, so I don't have all my makeup with me, so I don't have like all my brushes. It's not as like sparkly as I would want it to be, but I'm sure if you sprayed it with any type of like setting spray or MAC Fix Plus or something, it'd look better. So now I'm gonna take the silver shade. I'm actually just gonna pop that right on the center of the lid just for a little something. I'm gonna spray it with my Mario Badescu rose water spray just to see if that helps at all. Alright, so far this silver shade's not working for me. Actually, I like that a lot better with the, if you spray it, the glitters in it show up so much better, and it's just a lot more like metallic and foiled. I actually like the combination of those two shimmer shades mixed together. That made a really pretty combination. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in with that dark purple shade and just deepen up the outer V again, because I feel like I kind of dusted away some of that. So for eyeliner, I'm going to be trying the NYX Matte Liquid Liner. This says it's water resistant. It says finish off a bold look with our matte liquid liner that lines and defines with expert precision. So this is in the shade Black. Okay, so it's a very precise brush. It looks very liquidy. That makes me nervous. I usually use felt tip eyeliners and we'll see. Oh yeah, it's very, very wet. I'm a little scared to attempt a wing with this. I really hope this dries down matte. I'm not a fan of these kinds of eyeliners just because normally, like these really super liquidy ones, when they dry down, they kind of crackle. If this one doesn't do that, I will be very impressed. Okay, that wing was actually pretty easy. It was really easy, like the bristles are nice and long, so it's really easy to just kind of flick your liner out. Ooh, that one did not go as well. Okay, so far that eyeliner, it was a little harder to work with. I definitely prefer a felt tip. And it is taking kind of a long time to dry. So I don't really like that, but it is very, very black, which I like. And it wasn't like extremely difficult to apply. Definitely would not recommend it for beginners though. I'm actually just gonna use my Urban Decay Perversion Gel Eye Pencil. This isn't new, so I've used this before, but I'm just gonna tight line. Okay, so now I'm gonna brush away the baking. Ooh, that looks dry. Oh my goodness, that looks dry. Okay, so it's not too bad. I used a more highlighting concealer, and it definitely got rid of like all of the highlighting. Like my face looks very flat now, but and it's pretty drying. Like it feels really tight under my eyes, but it has a nice finish. Like it doesn't look cakey. This might work better for someone who has more oily skin than me. I don't know, we'll have to see. For bronzer, I'm going to be using the NYX Matte Bronzer, and mine is in the shade Light. Doesn't say anything about like benefits or anything like that on the box, so we're just going to try this out and see. This is what the bronzer looks like. It does look very, very warm, which makes me a little nervous. Like I don't mind a more orangey bronzer, but lately that has not been cooperating well with my skin. I don't know. It's just been looking weird on me lately, so I've been going more towards a cool tone bronzer, but we'll see how this works. It's very pigmented. So I definitely want to have a light hand because it is very, very pigmented. It almost seems kind of like pink on this cheek. I don't know. It's blending out very nicely though. It's doing a good job of adding like dimension back into my face. I don't look as flat anymore. I just don't know if I like the color. I think I like the formula. I definitely think I like the formula. I don't know. At first I thought it looked orange, then it kind of looked pink. Now it almost kind of looks purple. A purplish gray. Yeah, what do you think? My bronzer. Does my bronzer look a funny color?
Kind of purplish.
Yeah, it looks kind of purple, right? I don't know if that's like the banana powder or the foundation or what. For highlight, I'm going to try the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. I know this is a very subtle highlighter, so I might be adding another one on top. But it looked really pretty, and I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I wanted to give it a try. That's pretty. It's definitely buildable. When you first put it on, it's not very bright at all, but you can definitely, like, it's not by any means like super intense. It's not one of those, but it would be a really pretty everyday highlight. Okay, and I actually didn't get any new brow products, so I'm just going to use my ColourPop brow pomade and fill in my brows real quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so my brows are done, so now I'm going to go back into the Maybelline palette, and I'm going to finish up my eyes. So I'm going to start with that first shade that we used, that mauve shade, and I'm just going to run that under my lower lash line. Not being very precise with this at all. Alright, now with a more precise brush, I'm going to go back into that dark plum shade. I'm going to keep that just closer to the lash line. And also mostly in the outer portion. This is definitely my favorite shade in the whole palette. So, so pretty. Alright, and I'm going to use that same Urban Decay Perversion eye pencil and do my waterline. Okay, and now going in with this champagne color, like this gold champagne color, I'm gonna put that on my lower lash line, but closer to the inner corner. And I think I might also pop it on the inner corner as well. I'm actually gonna mix that with the silver. And then instead of putting that on my inner corner too, I'm actually gonna go back in with the highlight and put that there. Alright, and then for mascara, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara. This is supposed to be similar to the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I really, really like that mascara, so we'll see if I like this one. This is in the shade Black, of course. Let me see what this says. It says that 91% of users saw intense volumized lashes, plus 98% saw a lengthening effect, and 87% saw more beautiful lashes. Our first mascara for voluptuous volume and lush length with ultra sensorial application to fulfill your lash desires. Has a soft wavy brush with more than 200 bristles to hold maximum formula for a dramatic volumizing charge to catch every lash. Has a smooth glide formula which provides silky volume in one coat, intense at the gaze, soft to the touch. Removes easily with soap and water. So far it's okay. I feel like it'll probably look better if it has a couple coats, so we'll see. Comparing it to the Too Faced Better Than Sex, it's definitely a lot less clumpy. I mean, the Too Faced Better Than Sex isn't like a bad kind of clumpy. I really like it, but this one doesn't have those clumps. It is very volumizing though. I do like that. I really like that mascara. I think this is really nice. I think it is a really good drugstore dupe for the Too Faced one. So now for my lips, I'm gonna be using I think this is new. Pretty sure. The Lottie London Slay All Day Long Wear Matte Liquid Lipstick, and this is in the shade Squad. It's a nice nude color. Moussey formula. It smells really good. It smells like almost citrusy. It's really strong. So if you don't like strong scents, you probably won't like that. formula is very comfortable. It's not like, it doesn't feel super drying. It kind of reminds me of the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams. Okay, so far I do really like that lip. I have like a little cut on my lip right now, so that's what that little chunk is right there. That's not the lipstick, that's because I have a cut in my lip. But so far, I mean, I think it looks good as a whole. The only thing that I'm really like, about is the foundation, but it actually came together pretty nicely. It does look a little dry in my forehead and like around the sides of my nose, but it's not too bad. The powder actually doesn't feel too dry under my eyes anymore. It was just like the initial, when I first brushed it off, it felt, I love the eyes. The eyeliner so far actually is really good. It's not cracking. It dried down super matte and super nice. Everything I used on the eyes I really like. I think the only thing that I was kind of like about is definitely the foundation and the banana powder. The bronzer, I'm not sure yet. I have to just kind of see. I think it looks better with like a lip and everything else on. But I don't know. It still feels like it's pulling a little purple, which is weird. It almost looks like in the pan it looks super warm, but then after it's on your face and once it melts in, it kind of looks almost muddy, which is weird because normally it's cool tone bronzers that look like that. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to just wait and see, but I don't think it looks bad with this look. Maybe it's because the eyes are purple, but it's currently 5:47, so I'll come back in a couple hours and see how it looks. I'm just gonna set my face with the Mario Badescu rose water spray. So yeah, I'll come back in a couple hours, see how it lasted on the skin, and tell you what I think later. Okay, so it's now 9:15, so it's been quite some time since I applied the makeup, and as you can see, the eyes held up really, really well. I'm very happy with them, and my concealer, okay, I don't know how well you can see, but my concealer held up really well, and I actually really like the way the powder looks too. The foundation broke up around my nose, especially on like the tip of my nose and on my chin, around my mouth, and a lot like down here the foundation is just gone. But I feel like that happens with a lot of foundations, but it was just extra bad with this one. So I don't know if that has to do with the primer or the actual foundation, so I'm gonna have to try them like not together. The highlight, I feel like lost a little bit of its like oomph, but it's still there, which is good. So I'd say that's pretty good, but it's definitely more of like a daytime highlighter. By no means is it like a, you know, night out type of highlighter. The mascara is really good. The lip, as you can see, like I ate food, so of course it came off, but it really, you know, it came off a lot. So that's probably like the least, I don't know. I really liked it. I didn't reapply, and it's been hours. So that one, like, it's a nice formula and it's a nice color and all that stuff, but it's not long lasting. So you definitely need to touch it up and all that stuff. But it dried down nicely. It didn't transfer. So that's the only thing, is that you just need to touch it up. So the only other thing that I really had a problem with is the bronzer. As you can see, it's like gone. Like, I don't know what happened, and that doesn't normally happen to me with bronzers. Normally, like, you can really tell that the foundation down here is gone. Like, that's the first place my foundation fades. I don't know why, but you can always tell because it's really white and then my bronzer is really dark, but you can't tell as much because the bronzer's gone too. So I don't know, again, if that has to do with the primer, the foundation, or the bronzer. So I'm gonna have to like test them out separately. If you want me to like update again in a different video or just in the description box of this video, let me know and I can do that. But overall, I'd say that it was, you know, pretty good. This palette is amazing. I think this is a great drugstore palette, especially if, you know, you're on a budget but you want to have really good looks and stuff like that. Another thing I'm really impressed with is this eyeliner. It didn't crack, it didn't crumble. It's not like, I don't know, sometimes eyeliners like that, like super liquidy ones, are like crusty on your eye, but this one is not at all. So I'm very impressed with it. Probably my two favorite things would be, if I had to pick my top two, it would be the palette and the concealer. This concealer, if there's anything I recommend from this video, it's probably either the concealer or the palette. I ended up actually really liking the powder, so I would try that. Again, remember that if your skin tone's any lighter than mine, I would probably not go with the banana shade. But yeah, so that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you want to see more videos like this, let me know, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!